So we're going to tell you about the best suspension that you can put on your fifth wheel. We're going to take you to Indiana where we get it installed, and then hang around to the end. We'll tell you how it's been for us over 3,000 miles later, and I'll give you a hint of what it is with this intro video. So we just drove 1,500 miles from warm Texas up to freezing Elkhart, Indiana. But we're MORryde. We're here for independent suspension and disc brakes. Okay, so it's the night before the install. We're out here. We're parked in the little campground. We're freezing to take this video, but tomorrow we're going to pull into one of those bays right there and get the work started. And the work starts early at MORryde, so we have to be, they said, to have the slides in and ready to go at 5:45 a.m.
I don't remember the last time we were outside that early.
I don't get up at 5:45 a.m. I don't get up at 6 a.m. No one, sometimes on hikes.
That's true, hike days we do. Gotta say that. It's 5:15 in the morning. We're gonna head up to Logan Pass. It's about an hour drive.
We've had this appointment at MORryde even before we've had our rig, and we've been really looking forward to it because the roads are so rough, and it seems like every single time we get into our rig, there's something new that's broken. Right. And so we're really hoping, hopefully my expectations aren't too high and I'm not let down, but I'm really hoping for a much smoother ride and less broken things. The door break on us. But right now it's freezing, so we're gonna go inside. But stay with us, because we'll show you as much as we can through the process. 5:50 a.m. It's time to get this thing hooked up. You ready to go? We're gonna be in one of those bays right there.
Actually, you got a pretty big truck with the trailer combo. It's going to be very hard to make this turn right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and disconnect you here, and we're going to use this little trailer caddy that we got to pull it in. It's a little bit shorter and it's a lot more maneuverable.
So we ended the day, the first day, in the bay of 603. So much was accomplished today, and we started our day with looking at those garage doors, and I'm not afraid to admit that I'm not really honed in on my backing skills. So when I look at these tiny little doors and the little concrete pad that's in front of the doors, I wasn't really excited about backing in. They said they usually do that on the bay that I'm in just because of the size of the bay and then the size of the concrete pad in front of it, and plus the size of my truck. Made it easier on me. But once we got on the other side of the doors, that's when I did not want to leave that rig.
You know, we gotta pull the belly pan down and fold it back, make sure everything's out of the way before we cut these brackets off. We use the plasma cutter to cut those, so it does get kind of hot. We move everything up out of the way to make sure that nothing gets, burned or melted.
Okay, time for some grinding. Now that everything is cut and grinded off, now they got this 6-inch riser bar that they got to tack weld on here. They got the axles removed and all the hangers removed, everything ground down really smooth, and then they got those 6-inch risers welded on there, but that's where it wrapped up for today. Now when you get the MORryde, the first thing they do is they measure your rig.
We're actually high in the front, so we're going to be raising that, making that a little bit worse. So we'll have to go with a higher tube on your riser tubes. Now what I mean by riser tube, we have to put in a substructure above the axle, so we have something to weld to. Now we do a 2-inch, 3-inch, all the way up to 6-inch. So we have the room to adjust depending on your overall height.
And then you have the option of staying in your rig out here in their campground. When you do that, you're going to hear some trains. As we're talking about trains. And those trains run through the entire night. I looked at a brochure from Elkhart and it says about 74 trains come in and out of Elkhart every single day. And I think every single one of those trains pass right by MORryde. Okay, so it does leave you with options. Some people will drop off their rig and they'll go get a hotel while MORryde does all the work. Or you can do what we're doing, and that's come here, stay in their campground, listen to the melody of the trains, be up and out of your rig by 6 a.m. so they can pull it into the bay, and then tomorrow morning we got to be out of our rig by 6 a.m. so they can start work. And I don't know what our night of sleep is going to be like tonight, because I know we can still hear those trains.
Well, it feels like Groundhog's Day again.
Why?
Because we woke up at 5:15 or 5 a.m. to get our rig work done again.
Where are we at?
We're at MORryde again.
All right, they're on. I don't know, that seems to be a lot beefier than what was there before, right? They haven't painted any of the welds yet, so they got to come back and do that. We still got to do the alignment, and I think maybe get a couple tires on.
We did that worst part.
So we were going to leave yesterday. We finished up on the independent suspension, but we ended up staying another night. We had a couple other things to finish up, but look at the weather. What is happening here? So we actually haven't even done our test drive with our independent suspension yet. So we still got to do that. So in a minute, I'm going to pull out of that bay right there, and we're going to drive in this, which isn't terrible. I just prefer not to. And then the other problem that we have is I've never had a problem with this retracts freezing up. I've always been able to roll it in the snow. I don't know if it's the Indiana cold or what's happening here, but it's froze up, so I might have to get a mallet or something, kind of break that puppy loose. Get the snow, get the snow. Honey, you see the snow? You see the snow?
You're gonna notice a difference. I won't, probably.
I'm hoping I notice a difference. I think the brakes is what you're gonna notice right off, right?
I don't know. He mentioned train tracks. Jack talked about the train tracks and how he noticed a big
You know, I
difference.
think it's a psychological thing, but this feels smoother. I mean,
That's hilarious.
I'm on smooth road.
We've traveled, 50 feet.
Man, it's a smooth ride.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I can totally feel the brake.
You can? Are we turning here to go across the
Life is good.
Okay, getting ready to go across the train tracks.
All right, ready, train tracks?
Yep.
Too bad I think our truck ride is...
Okay, Did you film
Yeah,
it?
it's
Okay.
cool. It's cool.
Well, you're the one that drives it. I mean, your face kind of says it all.
When you think about suspension in your vehicle, and what you're thinking about is the comfort of your ride. But when it comes to suspension in your rig, what you're really doing is protecting your rig. And when we went full time, one of the things that we knew that we wanted is that we wanted to protect our house the best as we could as we went down the road. Another thing that we got installed is a sliding tray. I was back and forth on this tray. Now my concern is that the tray takes up some space against the sides. That's usable space. It also is going to take up about 3 to 4 inches for risers, and so it just felt like it was kind of taking up usable space to be able to get a sliding tray. But the tray is so useful and has kept me so much more organized, because now I can put my bins back in there and I can actually get to them, whereas prior I was unpacking bins and putting them on the ground so I can get to the back bins, and I'm just not that organized to put the things that I need up front. So it was constant packing and unpacking, and now I can just slide the tray out and grab what I need to grab.
You're like a kid right now.
Okay, so if you've been to MORryde and you've had independent suspension installed, you know that feeling when you pull around for that test drive and you go over those railroad tracks for the first time. It is absolutely mind-blowing, because you feel the thump of the truck, and then nothing as the trailer goes over it. Outside of the ride itself, we've noticed some pretty big changes. We use slide slickers on our floor for this galley slide when we drive. We used to open up that front door and we'd find those slide slickers kind of thrown over the place. So for a while we even used the rug. Since going to independent suspension, we open the door, those slide slickers are always in the same place. We'll leave things on the counter, like a roll of paper towel sitting back here on this counter behind me, and we open the door, it's still there. Just in general, things aren't tossed around like they used to be. Those things have taken us 13,000 miles. So we've done a lot of upgrades to the rig, and our two favorite are solar and independent suspension. And in fact, this is day 20 of boondocking in different places, and our independent suspension gets us there smoothly and safely. So tell me, what do you think of MORryde Independent Suspension? We'll see you next time.